Hi, this is Shelley Kraft. We're coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at the LD Micro Main Event 2013 at the Lux Hotel in Bel Air, California. I'm here with Cameron Reynolds of VolitionRx, publicly traded company, and the symbol is VNRX. Cameron, welcome to SNNLive.
Thank you, Shelley. Very nice to be here.
Okay, let's get right into it. On your own volition, tell me about VolitionRx.
We're a cancer diagnostic company who is undertaking a very large clinical trial into colorectal cancer, and it's a very simple, quick and easy blood test which should make much better patient outcomes for people who are suspected of colorectal cancer or for a screening for colorectal cancer.
How is it done now for the audience?
Currently in the United States, the colonoscopy is the main test, which is a very accurate test, but it is by definition very invasive and very expensive. So our test as a frontline screening test would be much cheaper, quicker and easier, and being blood-based has much higher compliance. There is a large number of people, up to 50%, who do not take colonoscopies. I'm sure some of your viewers can imagine the reasons why, but so blood tests we think are very superior for ease and for price.
So when it comes to this kind of a discussion, false positives, false negatives, how do we avert that? How do you help with that? Talk to me.
Yeah, obviously accuracy is very important. A test, no matter how cheap or easy, if it's inaccurate, is not very useful. Obviously false positives, you scare a lot of people and it's very expensive for the healthcare system, and false negatives, you miss people who do have cancer. So accuracy is very important to us, and that's why we've developed a test which appears to be very accurate in our early stage trials. And but for a clinical use for doctors, we have to have a large scale trial, which is what we're doing now. But the accuracy of our tests, we've just released data this last week, are about 85% for both false negatives and false positives, which for a blood test is excellent, and it's something we're very hopeful for to continue on those sort of numbers in the larger trials we're doing now.
How often, in comparison to a colonoscopy, would you think that in the system they would want you to take this blood test?
Yeah, that's a very good question, Shelley. Basically, a colonoscopy, the regulations in the United States are every 10 years because of its price predominantly, and it's not an easy test to do. So a lot can happen in 10 years, between 60 and 70 say, so that's a problem. Where a blood test you can very easily have every year. Now obviously if you're in your 30s, you probably wouldn't unless you have family history or you have some symptoms, but the vast majority of the population could take a blood test a lot more often than a colonoscopy, which is a very big advantage of our test. It's something, people are very familiar with giving blood, and it's something they do every time they go to the doctor and hospital. So blood tests are far superior in that sense and able to be taken much more often, and therefore much more useful at picking up cancers, especially early cancers.
So I'm going to make a statement that I think is to be true. If you have a blood test, you can always take a colonoscopy if it's determined by the doctors that that's the right route to take.
Yes. We won't replace colonoscopies as the final test, because ultimately a blood test can tell you have the cancer, but not exactly where in your bowel it is. But what we could absolutely hope to do is replace the colonoscopy as a frontline screening test. I mean, it's a very expensive thing to do to everyone every 10 years. So, but the colonoscopy is a very good test and a very accurate test, but as we discussed, low compliance, people don't like taking it, and it's something which is very invasive, so therefore, and expensive. So in the United States, it's about $2,000 per test. So that's a lot of your healthcare budget gone right there in one cancer trial. So our tests are very, very cheap. So it's something which it should work very well for patients.
What's your background?
I have a finance and MBA, so I'm the chief executive, so I do the business side, but we have a very, very strong scientific team. We have over 15 PhDs on the board and on the staff, so people who have, our chief scientific officer, Jake, has been working in these tests for over 30 years in diagnostics, and our scientific team in Belgium are very, very experienced in the clinical sense and in the lab, so we've got a very good team, and it's a good package.
All right, now's the tough question. What's your website?
Our website is VolitionRx.com. VolitionRx.com.
VolitionRx.com. Cameron Reynolds of VolitionRx, publicly traded company, symbol VNRX. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive. We're at the LD Micro Main Event 2013 at the Lux Hotel in Bel Air, California. Thanks, Cam, for coming.
Thank you, Shelley. Thank you.